Elimination Chamber is in the books, so let's talk about it. There were more surprises than just what was in that box. It was a pretty good show overall, so let's jump right into the card. We opened the night with the Women's Elimination Chamber match. The match started with Tiffany and Kiana. It was fine, you know. I think you could have put two more exciting wrestlers at the beginning of that match. Didn't exactly hook me right away, but it was fine. Then Alexa and Asuka were the next two in. Things started picking up a little bit. You know, the flow of one of these matches. Somebody comes in, gets a bunch of their stuff in, and there's kind of a flow to it. But the match really picked up once Rhea and Raquel were in. I feel like the stars of this match were Rhea, Raquel, and Tiffany. I will give Tiffany credit. She took a lot of punishment in this match. I really thought she was going to win. I guess once Rhea and Io lost the titles last night, this did become much more obvious. I've got my Rhea Bloody Ripley shirt on. Thank you to my friend Ian who got this for me when Raw came to Providence. It was the right choice. I said that I thought Jade Cargill and the title needed Rhea to feel like a real world title WrestleMania program, and I am glad that they agreed because that is going to be a really fun match to see. I'm excited for it. I think it's probably going to be the best match that Jade will have had up to this point, so they can start working on it now at the Performance Center to start getting things like worked through. I think that would be great. I'm excited for that match. I think both are really big personalities, and it's going to be exciting to see those two stand off. So that was the right call. Solid match. There was a spot where Rhea did like a cannonball off the top of the chamber onto Raquel. That was really sick. But yeah, Rhea wins. Solid match. It wasn't. I miss when the Elimination Chamber was a little grittier. Like the years they put the pads down on the flooring, it kind of lost a little aura. Now I'm all for protecting wrestlers. I don't need y'all to destroy yourselves, but if you're gonna do an Elimination Chamber match, it should still come with a toll. And they sell it that way, but these matches are not the same as they used to be in terms of intensity, I'll say. So, second match of the night, we had AJ Lee and Becky Lynch. I predicted that Becky Lynch would cheat to win, and it kind of looked like that was going to happen for a moment. This was a fun back and forth overall. And let me see. How did things unfold? Right, so they did the almost ref bump, and then that led to the full ref bump with Jessica Carr. Becky really, she played it like she didn't care. It was funny to see them put Jessica Carr in here with the story of Becky accusing her for weeks and everything. I really enjoyed this match, honestly. I liked Becky doing AJ's taunt in the ropes earlier in the match. This was solid. I really enjoyed it. AJ Lee had the best match of the night in her household. I was surprised to see AJ win. I thought it was more likely she would win the title at WrestleMania, but I suppose a lot of kind of part-time stars leave after Mania, so it makes sense to give her the title now, let her cut some promos as a champion, because I do kind of think that Becky will take it back. Unless AJ's here to stay, that would be good too. There's people I'd like to see AJ work with. I didn't know AJ was from Jersey before tonight. Love seeing somebody from Jersey make it big. So this was a really fun match, arguably match of the night in terms of in-ring quality. A lot of fun. Then, so something I want to say quickly. I saw a note that I wrote. I was not impressed with Chicago as a crowd. They really glazed Chicago up as like this iconic wrestling city, and I get it. A lot of big moments have happened there. I didn't think the crowd hit the mark for me tonight. People shared the video of AJ Lee coming out and were like, "What a pop!" It was not a pop. I'm sorry. And then during the match, some of the things that were being chanting "You can't wrestle" at Becky, like stuff that, I don't know. There was some stuff during the men's elimination chamber chanted as well, apparently, that people in the venue reported. Apparently, there was some loud "We want Vince" chants during the Danhausen reveal. I hope that wasn't real. I was during the pay-per-view, I watch it with Steven Larson Going in Raw podcast. They like live stream them, and that popped up, and I was like, I don't know, just bothered me. They were chanting for Logan at one point after a portion of the crowd was like booing him a lot. Chicago didn't do it for me tonight, I'll say. But getting into Finn Balor and CM Punk now. This was not as good as their first match on Raw, for sure. The ladder picked up. The second half of the match was definitely better, but saying second half might even be stretching it. The first 60 to 75% of this match was pretty slow and didn't really do it for me. I was pretty bored by it, honestly, and it was just a letdown based on the really fun match they had on Raw that one week. So I was hoping for more from these two. I will say I loved the Punk entrance, the Chicago Bulls touch and everything. That was awesome. Punk feels like a star anytime he's in Chicago. End of the match picked up. I like seeing Finn shake hands with Punk. Probably means we're all the way back on a Finn babyface run. We're just going to have to see what is going to happen with the Judgment Day now. So we'll see what happens from there. And now we are on to the main event. This is like overbooking to the max. A lot of stuff going on. I hate to say I loved it. I had a lot of fun with this match. Javon and Cody starting. That was really fun seeing those two. I loved when Javon came out and grabbed the camera. He was like, I'm nervous. He's just so relatable. He's a real person, and I love that. Javon is a star. Not a star in the making. He's a star right now. Then Trick Williams comes in. Trick Williams, another star. His moment on the top of the pod. The fact that he knows to milk that moment to the second chorus coming around and getting the crowd. This guy's the next John Cena. Trick Williams is the next mainstream breakthrough star. 10, 15 years, he'll be playing a superhero. So Trick is all the way there, man. I'm excited to see what they do with him for WrestleMania because he deserves a good match. I hope they pair him with the right person. Trick with the backhand. I love that being a part of his moveset. That's awesome. Logan Paul comes in, and Logan Paul, hate to say it, he was the MVP of this match. He took a beating. He took a lot in this match. I have to give credit where it's due. As soon as he came in, the three, Cody, Javon, and Trick, all just jumped him. And he really took a lot of punishment throughout this match. And he got Javon. Then also, the Javon elimination, I'm not really a fan of that pulverizer finisher. And the way Javon landed made me even less of a fan of it. Logan Paul can just use the knockout punch. He has the titanium punch. He has a really good frog splash. He has a really good buckshot lariat. He has enough, or slingshot lariat. Excuse me. He has enough in the arsenal to not have to do that move, which I don't like the convoluted, twist. It don't do too much. The easier the finisher, the better, honestly. But Logan goes on his tear, gets Javon, gets Trick, gets LA Knight, and then it all starts to go down, y'all. So, Masked Man, as Trick is going out, they're showing that Trick is getting out slowly, which is giving an opening for somebody to get involved, and a Masked Man comes out, runs up the side of the cage, gets taken out by a ton of security. and they rip off the mask. Adam Pearce is in his face like, who are you? Pretty sure that was another Seth wrestler. When that happened the other night and they unmasked the guy and people were like, who was that? That was a Seth Rollins wrestler. So somebody being trained by Seth. And I think this guy was as well, because I think I saw him shared in a picture yesterday. So, yeah, and then the second masked man comes in, and it is in fact Seth Rollins, and he screws Logan Paul. I loved it. I feel like we'll never really know what the full plan was when this all started. There is another wrestler who was under that mask for a few weeks. Definitively. Like, if you watched the show, it was him. I'm not going to say who that was because I think it still might be a story beat. I still think we're going to some kind of Civil War story. It'll be Team Logan and Team Seth. That's what I think we're going to lead to. And obviously Theory would be Team Seth, so gee, I wonder who could team up with Logan as a heel on the opposite side of the lines from Theory. Might be something unresolved there. Might. But anyway, also, I think that's going to be great for Theory because God knows that kid needs a babyface turn. There's nothing left for him as a heel. I think he's going to do a lot better as a babyface. Before him and Waller split and they were starting to tease it before I think Theory got hurt, he was getting babyface pops while Waller was wrestling. I think the crowd will go there with him if you give him the chance. So I hope him and Seth are the good guys in this whole thing. I thought this was a really cool moment that Seth was actually back. That was awesome. Then, as you would expect, Drew comes in and Drew attacks Cody. Randy and Cody, the last two in the chamber, team up. They get Drew on out of there. And Randy is opportunistic and pins Cody. Shocking. Genuinely shocking. At no point did I think Randy Orton was going to win this match. And I think, very importantly, after the event, Nick Aldis went on the post show, popping off, and was like, Drew, I warned you. I warned you to stop getting involved, and since you're so dead set on Cody not getting a rematch, Cody gets a rematch for the WWE title this Friday. I think Cody's winning. I really do. I think Cody is going into WrestleMania as champion, and we're going to have at least a fatal four-way. Drew, Cody, Jacob, Randy. I think they might keep it there because they won't want to go to 6 because then you just did a chamber. You don't want to do a 6-man match without a chamber involved, I feel like. But Sammy and Alistair could be involved. I think there's also a chance Jacob isn't in that match because him and Sammy are feuding because Jacob attacked Jay. I do think that's going to be the case. So I enjoyed everything about that main event match, even if it was like very WWE overbooking. I really enjoyed it. The shock finish of Cody not winning, but then giving him the... I was being very critical of SmackDown and the WWE title scene, and my bad. I'll admit when I'm wrong, and I'm wrong. I'm excited for what's going on there, you know? I'll admit it. I'm back. And the box. What was in the box? Obviously, it was Danhausen. Elimination Chamber was very nice. Very evil. I love Danhausen, so I loved seeing that. The internet definitely wasn't thrilled. There was a lot of negativity around that, calling it a joke, saying it was dumb. That's fine. Enjoy the wrestling as you'd like to enjoy it, but I enjoyed that. Danhausen, I like that guy. His stuff with Conan, big fan of all of it. So I was a fan of Elimination Chamber. I think we're going to get funny stuff with Danhausen, honestly. Wouldn't be shocked if he has a Mania match or he just becomes like the new R-Truth where he's popping up everywhere in comedic ways. He gave Michael Cole teeth. That was funny. He yelled at Wade, "Up yours." That was pretty funny as well. Got a pop out of me for that. So, Elimination Chamber, I thought it was a solid show. Let me know what you guys thought down below. Sorry, it's late. I had rehearsal all day today, so I'm fumbling over my words. Tomorrow's the first day of Tech Week for the show Sister Act that I'm in. And I was rehearsing most of today, and now I'll rehearse most of tomorrow. And then my next day off is not until next Monday. So this is the beginning of a long stretch of time, but that's okay because I get to do what I love. I get to perform, and every time I get to perform, it's a gift. So I am grateful for that. I'm grateful for you being here and watching this with me. Let me know what you thought down below. How do you feel about the Danhausen reveal? Are you cynical about that? If so, I'm not mad about it, Enjoy what you enjoy. I like it, so I'm positive about it. Let me know what you guys thought down below. The Goose is out. Hey!